What would happen if we no longer needed to sleep? According to the findings of our study, starving our bodies of the necessary amount of sleep is not conducive to good health. Therefore, keep watching this video to see both the bright and gloomy side of what can happen if we lose the need to sleep. If you go more than 36 hours without sleep, your ability to form new long-term memories will be impaired. Some individuals, such as soldiers, have reported that whole days have been completely erased from their memory. You'll also notice that the fight or flight response is more activated often in reaction to certain stimuli. After 48 hours without sleep, you will suffer microsleeps if you haven't already, coupled with reduced insulin and numerous types of ataxia such as slurred speech. However, researchers have reported hallucinations, a loss of memory, sensitivity to light, and enhanced severity of earlier symptoms, such as emotional moodiness after 72 hours without sleep. So after going without sleep for 3 days, most individuals will prioritize their desire to sleep above their need to consume food. 7 days without sleeping. In addition to a general lack of capacity to focus on anything for more than a few minutes, researchers have gone without sleep have reported highly intense experiences during the 4th and 5th days of not sleeping. These symptoms might include periods of unpleasant hallucinations, paranoia, and even questions about the reality of their own lives. Radio DJ Peter Tripp performed the publicity stunt that included sleep deprivation, and it was aired live on the air. Tripp tried to stay up for 200 hours straight while broadcasting his program. It was said that about 120 hours into the experiment, he began hallucinating. In one incident, he took a scientist for an undertaker and fled from him as a result of this misconception. Several individuals have challenged themselves to remain awake for an extended period throughout human history. Randy Gardner, a willing researcher and volunteer, is one example of someone who remained up for 264 hours, equivalent to 11 days. But the official Guinness record holder is Toemi Soini, who remained awake for 276 hours, equivalent to 11 and a half days. Many individuals have the misconception that they would be more efficient if they only had more spare time. Therefore, in a world where individuals did not need to sleep and instead had 8 more hours each day, it is tempting to imply that people would accomplish more and that society would find solutions to more issues. However, analysts believe that most individuals would not make the most of this additional time. It's really seductive to think that we would all become smarter and more productive, but that's not necessarily the case, experts said. According to experts, excessive labor or stress may impede thinking, and the human brain needs a specific amount of leisure to perform at its maximum level. Because of this, some individuals say they get their finest ideas when they are in the shower or engaged in a pointless activity. New York psychologist Linda Sapadin, who works in a private practice, agrees. According to Sapadin, most people are not more productive, even if they have extra time. She also added that when individuals have additional time, they like to fill it with activities that allow them to relax or pass the time away. Mairead Easton Maloney, an assistant professor of sociology at the University of Kentucky, warned against the idea that a world without sleep would improve, and stressed the importance of sleep in structuring people's lives. Maloney pointed out that technological developments over the last several decades have made it possible for individuals to work nonstop, but that does not necessarily mean that they are more productive than in the past. Instead, they are simply busy. We're not machines, she said, so we can't continue working around the clock. According to experts, sleep really does put a pause on both our busyness and our productivity. It's possible that your work-related expectations may shift as well if we lose all the need to sleep. Your supervisor has every right to question why you did not respond to an email at 3 in the morning. According to Catherine Coveney, a research fellow in global health at the University of Sussex in the United Kingdom, shifting expectations of how long people can work for without a break occurs when people are deprived of their ability to sleep. Coveney wanted to know the opinions of individuals working in various fields for a study project. She wanted to know what they believed would occur if there was a medicine that could replace sleep. She discovered that people who worked both day and night shifts, such as police officers, nurses, and physicians, were disturbed by the concept. They were worried about exploitation and employers putting pressure on their employees to work longer hours and do more shifts in the name of economic productivity, where workers would lose out socially and health-wise, Coveney said. Can we really pass away from lack of sleep? According to certain schools of thought, not getting enough sleep may be fatal. The likelihood of dying from an accident, a stroke, or a heart attack first is far higher, and each of these outcomes becomes progressively probable the longer you are awake. People in China, for instance, have been known to pass away from issues related to lack of sleep. As a result of the weakening of the immune system, it is also possible that one might pass away from a disease first. But is it possible for a person to die from lack of sleep when they are isolated in an environment that is entirely controlled? Despite being placed in controlled conditions or even having a coma induced on them, patients diagnosed with the very uncommon and dreadful sickness known as fatal familial insomnia often pass away within a few months of the disease's inception. Alan Rechtschaffen, a researcher at the University of Chicago, attempted to find out how long someone might go without sleeping before they would die. He carried out his research on rats, but after 32 days, all of the rodents in his care had died. It seems, based on the few study that has been done, that the willpower necessary to voluntarily go without sleep fades away after around 11 days. Do we really need 8 hours of sleep? A lack of sleep may result in various severe physical side effects, including hallucinations, microsleeps, and even an elevated chance of potentially lethal conditions, including heart attacks and strokes. Even missing a few hours of sleep may bring in a host of issues for certain individuals, ranging from an increased likelihood of developing diabetes and obesity to feelings of despair and impaired driving. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep is essential for adults, 8 to 10 hours for teens, and 7 hours for the elderly. Your overall health needs to get quality and consistent sleep, not only because of the potential risks, but also because those who get better sleep typically experience more positive reactions, faster learning and behavioral function, and better emotional health, in addition to having better physical health in general. Consider purchasing a new mattress if you struggle to get a good night's rest each night. Also, one more thing to mention. Because of the health hazards involved, Guinness no longer acknowledges sleepless stunts as eligible for their records. Thus, we should take sleeplessness seriously as well. In addition, your state of mind, the health of your brain and heart, your immune system, your creativity, your energy, and even your weight may all be negatively impacted by decisions you make throughout the day. Therefore, establishing appropriate sleep habits, often known as sleep hygiene, is typically the answer for those who have trouble falling asleep when they get into bed or waking up throughout the night and having trouble falling back asleep. So, you can shorten the amount of time it takes you to fall asleep, increase the amount of time you spend sleeping, enhance your general health, and improve how you think and feel throughout the day if you improve your sleep hygiene. Tell us in the comments below whether or not you believe sleep is vital and whether or not you could conceive a future in which people did not sleep. Additionally, if you have ever attempted to go more than 24 hours without sleeping, please describe how you felt during that time. We appreciate you watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and we'll see you in the next one.